And back here on the First Coast, it was a day of peaceful protesting outside the Duval County Courthouse. About 100 demonstrators taking to the streets and the sidewalks surrounding those blocks there in downtown Jacksonville. They gathered at the same place where protesters were boxed in and arrested on Sunday after an 8-hour-long protest. Now today, only one arrest, and it seemed to be someone who was not part of that protest, someone down the street from the main group. Most of the protesters today were young, a lot of them telling us that they're from Jacksonville and they want to be the generation to bring on systemic change.
I'm going to stop waiting for a leader. You're looking at the face of somebody who's going to be a leader, somebody who's going to make change, because I'm tired of waiting around. Something has to change. I'm only 26. I'm too young. I can't do this. Yes, I can. I'm a black woman. I'm a black queen, and I stand with my black queens and my black kings, and we're going to make change.
This is not a culture that we're going to live in anymore. This is a system that has systematically oppressed us, and we're not going to stand for this anymore. And so not only with marching, but also in November with our vote and through systematic legislation, we're fighting for change.
Peaceful protests today, but over the weekend, dozens arrested at protests in downtown Jacksonville. And on your sides, Haley Harrison joins us now with a breakdown of who was taken into custody. Haley?
Heather, at last check of the Duval County jail intake log, about a dozen protesters are still behind bars tonight. One of those was a local pastor who just got released earlier this evening.
We want justice for Pastor Smith.
As local pastor Delane Smith remained behind bars Monday afternoon, other Jacksonville pastors gathered in front of the Duval County Courthouse to speak out against her arrest.
We have a problem with excessive force when somebody who is a hero is locked in chains. We don't arrest heroes in this city, or do we? Somebody needs to answer that question for me.
Pastor Jay Harris of the Ville Church explained Pastor Smith was asking people to go home and stay peaceful at Saturday's protest before she was put into handcuffs. He claims her arrest was unjustified. Pastor Harris wants Smith to get a public apology and for her record to be expunged. The pastor is one of 79 people who were arrested this past weekend, mostly on the charge of unlawful assembly. First Coast News confirmed the total number of arrests through law enforcement officials. 25 arrests on Saturday and 54, more than double on Sunday, when the police presence was visibly larger. The Duval County jail intake log only has some of these arrests up online. But out of those 22 arrests, it shows most people have lived in Jacksonville all their lives, or at least live here now. The adult arrests also range from age 18 to 80. One juvenile was also arrested. The Saturday arrest of Nina Franklin and Carly Griffin caught attention on Twitter this weekend, but they were seen in good spirits Sunday morning after they were bailed out.
We are here, we are out, we are free. The message is still the same. It's not going to change.
Tell them what the message is.
No justice, no peace.
Now, although Mayor Lenny Curry imposed a citywide curfew last night, JSO tells us that no additional people were arrested last night for curfew violations.